I can see that once again you are here for a treat because today we have an opportunity to start a conversation with a friend. I will be presenting to you Césaire Julien. I happen to know recently because he published a book. Another friend referred to me. I went online and I read a couple of pages from this book. And since this is on a topic that is dear to me, and I hope dear to you as well, I said to myself, let me share with you this value, this talent, and this gift from our community. And today, from my screen to yours, have the pleasure to present to you my dear friend, Césaire Julien. How are you doing, Césaire?
I am doing well. I'm happy to be with you and to everybody who's watching. We will be watching this, and I am excited to be here, and then so we can talk about not only life in finance, but also I have a new book out. We'll be talking about this. So happy to join you.
So congratulations. First, we go right to it. So you published the book, Manage Your Money, Manage Your Life. Tell us what is it, what is the content, and we will go from there.
Yes, we just published the book 3 weeks ago, and it's been on Amazon best #1 best release book. And the title of the book is Manage Your Money, Master Your Life. This book is about the step and also the financial concept that required for anybody, right? It doesn't matter what's your position, it doesn't matter where you are. It will help you to understand what it takes, what the mindset, okay? And also what are the steps, what are the 10 financial concepts that you need to master to be able to change your financial life, but also to change your life and to take over your life. So happy to
Manage your
be,
money, manage, master your life. The
yeah,
10 practical financial concepts for achieving financial independence. Of
independent.
course,
Yeah.
we will go over rapidly those 10 practical financial concepts, but I will let you, as our viewer today, and to go ahead and go in Amazon and go into depth and to read the content of this book yourself. But first, why? Everything starts with why. This is what Simon Sinek said. You start with why.
Start
Why
with
did
what?
you write this book? Why? Why?
What? Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Why this book? For me, it's a journey. Every time we're talking about have a better life, not only on evil or financially, but in life, it's take a journey to do it. And manage your money, master your life is a way for anybody who want to be independent in life. Independence require also a financial side too. And I've been on that journey. Okay, in 2008, after I lost everything, and I realized I need to change my mindset, how I manage my money, in order for me to be able to control my life. Because after I lost everything, I basically lost my mind. I basically lost everything I think I had to have for me to be financially free, which was my job. Okay, so now I lose that job. How do I stay financially relevant for my kids and my family? That's what this is my why to write this book here, Manage Your Money, Master Your Life, to help people that might be in the same situation, that might be also, that might fall in the same situation I was. Here I am, no job, no income coming in to be able to live. So the best way to do it, I realized after I learned these 10 practical concepts and apply them in my life, is how do I take this and let everybody use it? Let everybody know about it. Let everybody practice those same concepts for them to be able to be in a better place financially. So I
I
want to change
understand.
people's life. That's my why. I want to change people's life financially.
Your why is to change people's lives financially. And what I get from what you said is that you take your story and you share it with others to this content for them to empower them to become better at managing not only their finances, their money, to understand the game of money, but also to master the only thing which is so valuable that they only have it once, which is their lives.
Yeah, like,
So we start with your story. We will go over the content, but usually when we have a product, we have also a creator, and we want to understand who is that creator, where is that person is from, because there is a story that brings you to this ability to create that content. I understand now you are in the US. What part of the US you are now?
yes, I am in Connecticut. I'm in New Britain, Connecticut. I moved to Connecticut over right after 2008 and 2009. That's for to leave Maryland, where I used to live, to come to Connecticut for a better life, for a better job. That's where my financial education started in
So that
2009.
means you are part of, you said Connecticut from Maryland, but if we go back, I'm pretty sure the way you and I we speak, I'm pretty sure if someone is watching you, they will say, and they are listening to me as well, they will say, "Hey, I understand those guys. They have a certain accent that bring them to a certain place that we share
Definitely.
in common." May I know exactly what part of the country you're from? When I'm talking about the country, not this country, but where we're from originally.
Originally, I'm from Haiti. I'm from
From
Haiti,
Haiti.
Jean Abel, northwest of Haiti. I went there from the time I was born to high school to middle school, and then I went to Port-au-Prince to uh,
Teze ou
continue
sonen
my
ki manje an pil
high
banan
school.
la. Ou an pil
Yes.
banan.
Oh yeah, nous kon plante en pile banane, nous kon
Mwen
mange en
jete,
pile
chak
banane
fèm
tout.
kon jere abel gan pil banan, te gon zan mi te rete bola ka mwen nan Carrefour Feuille.
Uh-huh.
Li te moun jere abel, e li te ge kek ti moun ki te vin l'ekol Port-au-Prince. Nou te konen, nou te rele nek banan nan, avan nek banan, nek
I
banan.
don't wanna.
Donc, ça veut
Yeah.
dire que as soon as we see Jarabel, we know this is a place where you have the best plantains and really
Yes.
big go banan pour yak, banan mispé.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah. Banane qui
you
est
name
force
it, you
from
get it.
Koyak. Yes. Yes. So the
So
sort
as you said, you went to school there, you did your early schooling and middle school, and as well, you went to high school there. Is that
yeah,
correct?
I went to high school in Port-au-Prince. I was in graduate College Saint Pierre,
Okay.
and right after graduation, I moved to the U.S. I settled in Maryland. That's where my parents were, and I stayed in Maryland for almost about 10 years before I moved to Connecticut.
So I'm pretty sure you have moved a couple of times in your life. Now you are in Connecticut from Maryland, and from Maryland to Port-au-Prince, and from Port-au-Prince to Jarabel. I'm pretty sure there is a difference in each of those locations. And
Yes.
coming from Jarabel to Port-au-Prince, it seems to me it was a little different, isn't it?
Uh, oh, absolutely, absolutely. And what I realized as I'm moving from Jean Rabel to a bigger city, and I realized there's a bigger life than my local community, and there's more people. There's back in Jean Rabel, we didn't we, everything was small. We think financially, that's where my education started with my mother. She was a entrepreneur, so um, as we were small, when we go to Port-au-Prince, we like, oh wow, we had all these things in Port-au-Prince, and it was a shock. Even the education system was different, and moving from
Port-au-Prince was like a culture shock when you look at it in with you all based in Jarabel. Then
Yeah.
now from Port-au-Prince, you moved to Maryland. It seems to me it was another shock.
It was another a bigger shock, I would say, because now we are in a different language. We don't understand. We don't speak the language. We know about English in high school, but that could not prepare you to live, to go to school, to transform your life from your own language, Creole and French, now to come to a country where it's a different language, English, where you need to write the English, you need to speak it, you need to do everything. So it was a culture shock. But as I always said to all my Haitian brothers and sisters, we have that tenacity in us. No matter what country we in, when we make our mindset, when we set our mind up for success, we will be successful because we know what it takes to work hard and then to go without anything to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
That is amazing. What I get from what you said is that it all starts with chapter one, the mindset,
Yes,
and
yes,
that's
the mindset, exactly.
the book as well. One thing that I have seen is that it starts with the mindset, and that's why you say mindset is not where you from. Mindset is an attitude that you develop, and when your mindset will take you wherever you want. Because at
Absolutely.
the end of the day, this is inside value, this is internal value that you carry with yourself. Now
Absolutely.
you have been here and you have those 10 principles, those 10 concepts. Let's start with number one. What is it?
Number one. So when we go in, one of the requirements for any success is these three things, three building blocks: your mindset, your discipline, your plan. Once you take those and you apply those, now you can, when you have those as your prerequisite, as your base, now you can add on top of this. This is why I start the book with the three, and then I put the 10 on top of these three because that's your foundation. The three are the practice. Anybody can practice those, but these three main building blocks: your mindset, your discipline, your planning. Those, like you said, those are internal requirements you put on yourself to do it. So number one thing after you master these three things, your mindset, your discipline, and your planning, the first thing you need to realize is is income. How many types of income there is? How can you make money? Okay, many ways to make money. Most people, this is what in 2008 I thought my job was my way to make money. But 2008 take that away from me. Now I realize, wait a minute, is there other way to make money? Absolutely there is. Those are many type of incomes that we can develop in order for us to continue to achieve that financial independence we're talking about in the book. And the book will teach that.
Césaire Julien is my guest today. We're talking about his work, Manage Your Money, Master Your Life, the 10 financial concepts. And he starts with number one. But before we move to step number one, we need to make sure that we have a firm foundation. And this firm foundation is the three concepts that he mentioned earlier. And Césaire is from Jarabel. He has deep experience in the countryside before he moved to Port-au-Prince, where he attended Collège Saint-Pierre for his high school before he traveled to come to the US in Maryland, where it seems to me the weather was a little different from Jarabel and Port-au-Prince. And now he's in Connecticut, where the weather is closer to Maryland. So this
Yeah.
is a man who has a certain suit in his ideas to follow his thinking. The next thing that I would like to understand is what is that second concept that you develop in this book?
Yeah, the second concept, I once you realize there's many ways to bring income to your life, the second thing we need to realize, who control our money. This is one of the things people, we don't take time to realize, who take control of our money, who control that money. But all the expenses that we acquire or control our money. That's why you see when you bring money in, you can have all the income coming in. If you don't have control of the expenses, what's going to happen? All the money you bring in will goes out, right? So income is every money you have that come to your pocket. But on the other side, expenses are all the money that take that money off your pocket. So how do we bring more money in as income, but also how do we control what we spend? That way we can have extra or surplus to be able to use that surplus we have to invest, right? To grow in as capital so we can increase our financial.
What I learned from you is that we have a flow coming in.
Yeah.
This is like we have a tank, a reservoir, or a
Uh-huh.
bucket, and we have a flow coming in. And also, this is income, and also we have a flow getting out. This is like we have plug holes under
Yeah.
the bucket. This is when we
Mm-hmm.
make those expenses. Now, all we have to do is to make sure the flow coming in is more abundant than the flow getting out for us to have, at the end of the days, at the end of the month, at the end of the week, to have always to have some remaining inside the bucket before we move to the next month, to the next week. And this is where we have a surplus that we can do, and we move to the third concept right now.
Exactly. So once we know what's coming into the bucket, when we know what's plugged into the bucket that's pulling it out, so now we realize, like you said, we come to what we call cash flow, your net that left every week. So if you have more coming in and then you have less going out, you're gonna have something left at the bottom of the bucket. So if you have some left at the bottom of the bucket, this is where your wealth comes from. This is where you can, whatever is left is that's gonna build your life. That's gonna start your financial independence. That this the net income that you have left, the cash flow, that positive cash flow you have left in your hands, in your bank account, in your bucket, like in your example you said, we can use that as the base to start our financial independence, to be able to multiply it, increase it, invest it, open a business with that, with whatever we have left, to be able to bring our life to the next level.
So I like the way you put it. That means if you even have some money, what we call some leftovers. So this is
Yeah.
like we got a plate of food, we cannot eat it all, and then we leave, we put it in the fridge that we can eat. We call it the leftovers. But my
Yeah.
concern is that the more I read about the US economy, and even in Canada and maybe in other parts of the world, the more people are in debt. So either you have student loans, a mortgage, you have credit card loans, credit card debts. So that means at the end, even the bucket is not enough. You have to go, and some people, they have to go after St. Peter to cover St. Pierre, St. Paul. And
Yeah.
some other people, they have to go after all the saints because it's not enough. So now
Yes.
I wonder, in that situation, how could people have that leftover and to fulfill what you assume is their dream?
Yes. First of all, in everything, you need to know your position. If you look at the title of part two of the book, it's we call that your cash position. You can't do better until you know where you are. Once you know where you are, then what can happen? You can start making decision on your position. Okay, your position is important because once you know where you are financially, once you know what's coming in, what's coming, what goes out, right? So now what you can do is start to say, wait a minute, what do I require here? What can I live with? What I don't need to be able to live? It's the same way. For a quick example, let's say you set up a goal to save $50 a month. The best thing is you don't need to start with 10, 20, $50,000. Your goal might be to start saving $50 a week. Okay. So this is where you start. Once you know what's coming in, what's going out, now you can see from all the expenses I have, do I need all these things? Do I need to spend all that? Do I need to buy lunch every day at my job? Right? So can I bring my own lunch to work? For a quick example, let's say you buy breakfast in the morning, you go to McDonald's. Okay, you will spend at least $5 to $10 in doing breakfast. Okay, doing lunch, you can spend another $20 or 15 to 20, 20 easy. Okay, for the day, you spend another $30. But what you could have done, you have bread at the house, you have peanut butter, you have all these things, you have juice, you have everything at the house, you have food at the house. Why don't you say, you know what, you have, in most people, they spend money every weekend to go to the grocery store, do groceries anyway. They have grocery at the house, but they spend money every day at their job. So the quick thing to do is like, wait a minute, I spend $150 a week on grocery, and I also spend another $30 a day for 5 days. That's almost 30, 80, that's almost 150 a week on top of your grocery. So what you can do, you say, now I know my position, I know my expenses. So what I can do, I can bring my breakfast to work. I can eat my breakfast at the house and then bring lunch. That only can save you $20 to $30 a day. In a week, that's past $100. That's $100 you have. That's your base.
I can't wait for you. That is amazing. I can't wait for you to read that book, to have access to it. And you can go on Amazon.com and you search for the name César Julien and the title of the book, Manage Your Money, Master Your Life, because you are listening ways to save money, not only to save money, but to have your base to launch your financial rocket. I will put it that way. You need to have that base where
Absolutely.
you sit, and then now you can have your moonshot, your
Yes.
financial moonshot. And now I know we have given three of the main important ones, so I will let you talk about the other ones, and after that we will sum up and say where and what people can take advantage of these books. So if we
Yes.
can just talk about the other concepts, just
Yes.
also to let people, hey, you need to read the book, because some people understand that if I
Absolutely.
listen to the concept, as soon as I've heard it, I'd master it. Don't
Yes.
forget the second title of the book, Master. And to master, to have mastery, you cannot have it in a day, or at least in a 10, 15 minutes interview. And that won't make it. This is not a microwave learning.
Yes. Exactly.
And you have to dig deeper and to have access to the content as well.
Absolutely. Not only you need to get the book so you can have your reference to practice it, but when you start practicing those steps, that's what make a difference. And it takes time. It takes time to build it, to learn the process, to learn. I set the book as a process. As you're going through it, you have exercise to do so you can practice the step. The one of the step that is important in the book is what we call asset. Okay. Once you have cash flow, when you have surplus, what you going to do, one of the concepts is to start buying what we call asset. Asset basically is everything that's pay you money, that give you a money back, that give you a benefit, that give you extra income. So your asset produce money for you. So your goal is to save that money, is to have that money to start buying asset. Asset produce more. Okay, so that's one of the concept. Okay, another concept is the liability part of it. Asset produce income, but liability what burn income, right? Burn money, takes money away. For example, if you buy a car on credit, that's a liability because you're making payment on it every month. That's become a liability to you. It's tied to your income. It's taking money. It's taking money. So, but when you have an asset, for example, if you buy rental property, that's an asset. What happened to the rental property? Every month, the tenants are paying you. Okay, so your every month payment become now you producing money. That's why you need to have that cash flow to buy asset. Asset produce more of itself, right? So, but if you only acquire liability, you have car payment, you have credit card payment, you have your mortgage. Those things take money away, right?
Now
So
you
you
become
realize,
now you become asset of others because there are two main lines. You either be or have assets or you have liability. And
yes,
when you have liability, you are an asset for the banks for those you owe money. And I
exactly.
have a friend, maybe I will introduce you to him as well. He had a financial fitness class that
Okay.
we will talk about it. He
Yes.
said, now you become an ass
For sure.
because now everything every night when you go to sleep, when you wake up in the morning, you become either richer if you own asset or you
Yes,
become poorer if you are the asset. So
absolutely.
this is your choice.
This is your
So why
choice.
don't
And
we sum up and say why this gentleman, this young lady watching us now, listening to you, why should he get that book and why should he take into his or her own hands his financial concept and as well to master his or her life?
yes, what's important about this book is what the book is going to do for you in your life. Okay, so we can talk about these things. Once you get the book, you start practicing those steps in the book. Once I understand what an asset, what a liability is, and I start applying in my life, I realize everybody that achieve financial freedom in life are practicing those simple steps, buying more assets, understand what an asset is. From Bill Gates, okay, to every investors, to any business owners, they understand the principle of asset. Or any employee, you might be an employee, any investors. Once you know those principles, your life basically changed. I think one of the things people don't realize, what changed your mind is not the money, it's the process, it's the concept that you know. Once you know how to do something, you can do it over and over and over again in any country. That's what independence, when we talk about independence, if you can buy an asset here in the US, you can go to Haiti, you buy the same asset. You can get to France, you buy the same asset. Once you know how to manage your money, your life will depend on you. Nobody can control your life but you. This is why I think this book is changing people's lives. I think most the people that's read the book, either even if they have experience in finance or no experience whatsoever, they say everybody should have this book. Even kids in high school should do it because they need to learn those principles. The best thing about these principles, they apply to your personal life, they apply to a business life, they apply to your country. This is why you should read this book because it's gonna make a difference, I believe. I think you're on mute. You are muted.
Thank you. Manage Your Money, Master Your Life. This book will give you access to those 10 practical financial concepts for achieving financial independence. And today, your financial independence is the most important asset that you may have because you don't want to live in bondage. And when you live in bondage, when you are in debt, you become someone else's asset. My conversation today with Césaire Julien, you may follow him on Instagram. He has also a YouTube channel that you can listen to his content, and also you have more. You have access to his deep thinking through this book that we just covered, that we just spoke about. Thank you, Césaire, for your presence, for your time, and for your accomplishment as well.
Thank you as well. And it was a great pleasure for me to be on and to talk about the book, but to talk about life. I'm happy to I was with you, and for everybody else, have a great day, and you'll see me soon, and we'll be talking again soon.
That will be for sure. Au revoir.
Au revoir.